Hello everyone, and welcome back to Worldwide Delicious. This is not just a sweet ending to a meal. It is a story filled with mystery, energy, pleasure, and social change. But behind those soft layers of coffee-soaked biscuits and creamy mascarpone lies a story that surprises even food lovers. The name tiramisu means pick me up or cheer me up, and that meaning is not accidental. To understand tiramisu, we must travel back to Italy in the mid-20th century. Veneto, a region in northern Italy, plays a central role in this story. And within Veneto, the city of Treviso is often credited as the birthplace of tiramisu. According to local legend, this dessert was not born in a royal kitchen or a famous restaurant, but in a much more unexpected place. A place of social interaction, secrecy, and experimentation. A place where energy mattered. As we explore this story, remember that food history is rarely clean or simple. It reflects real life. Desire, necessity, creativity, and culture all mixed together, just like ingredients in a recipe. Today, we uncover how tiramisu went from whispered beginnings to worldwide fame. If you love discovering the real stories behind iconic dishes, subscribe now and join me on this journey. To understand the origins of tiramisu, we need to look at Italy as it existed in the mid-1900s. During this time, brothels were legal and relatively common, especially in regions like Veneto. These establishments were not only places of pleasure, but also social spaces where people talked, rested, and consumed food and drink. In Treviso, these locations became places of culinary creativity. According to the most famous legend, tiramisu was created inside one of these establishments as a practical solution. Clients needed energy before returning to their daily routines. The women who ran these houses understood exactly what was required. They needed something quick to prepare, inexpensive, indulgent, and energizing. The solution came from ingredients that were already available. Coffee for stimulation, eggs and sugar for immediate energy, mascarpone for richness and comfort, ladyfingers to hold everything together. This combination was simple but powerful. Coffee-soaked biscuits provided caffeine, raw eggs and sugar delivered fast fuel. The cream softened the intensity and made the experience pleasurable. Even the cocoa powder added a sense of luxury. Everything served a purpose. The dessert did not exist to impress critics. It existed to revive the body and elevate the mood. Over time, the dessert earned its name. Pick me up, cheer me up. The story may sound shocking, but it fits perfectly with the dessert's function. Tiramisu was born from need, not vanity. It was functional indulgence. This origin story reminds us that many great culinary inventions come from unexpected places. When food solves a problem, it often becomes timeless. If this story already has you curious, subscribe and keep exploring food history with me. As time passed, tiramisu began to move beyond its original environment. By the 1960s and 70s, Italy was changing. Social norms were shifting, and food culture was becoming more public and experimental. What once stayed behind closed doors began appearing in homes, cafés, and eventually restaurants. Chefs and bakers recognized the brilliance of tiramisu's structure and flavor. It was easy to prepare, required no baking, and delivered immediate satisfaction. Two establishments in Treviso are often credited with refining and popularizing the dessert. Each claims to have created the modern version that we recognize today. While debates continue, what matters most is how tiramisu transitioned into mainstream Italian cuisine. The recipe became more standardized. Raw eggs were handled more carefully. Mascarpone took center stage. Coffee quality improved. The dessert became elegant without losing its soul. What started as a functional treat transformed into a symbol of Italian comfort and indulgence. Restaurants embraced it because diners loved it instantly. It was light yet rich, familiar yet exciting. And unlike many desserts, it felt adult. Coffee, bitterness, balanced sweetness. Cocoa? Added depth. Tiramisu fit perfectly into the rhythm of Italian dining. It closed meals without overwhelming them. Soon, it spread beyond Italy's borders. Travelers tasted it and carried the memory home. Chefs abroad added it to menus. Variations appeared, but the core remained unchanged. Layers: coffee, cream, cocoa, energy, and pleasure combined. Tiramisu became a global language spoken through dessert. Its success proves that when a dish connects emotionally, it does not need complexity. It needs balance. If you are enjoying this deep dive into culinary history, subscribe to Worldwide Delicious and continue the journey with me. As tiramisu traveled the world, it adapted to new cultures while keeping its identity intact. In some places, alcohol was added. In others, eggs were replaced or cooked. Flavors like chocolate, fruit, and matcha appeared. But even with these changes, tiramisu remained recognizable. That is the power of a strong foundation. The dessert structure is so solid that it welcomes creativity without losing meaning. Yet its origin story continues to fascinate people. The idea that such a refined dessert may have been created in a brothel challenges how we think about culinary prestige. It reminds us that food does not care about status. It responds to human needs: energy, comfort, pleasure. Those needs exist everywhere. Tiramisu's history also reflects a larger truth about Italian cuisine. Many iconic dishes were born from simplicity and necessity. They were created by people solving real problems with limited resources. Over time, those solutions became traditions. Today, tiramisu appears at family gatherings, fine dining restaurants, and casual cafés. It has become a symbol of Italian warmth and hospitality. Few people think about its original purpose when they take a bite, but that purpose still works. Coffee wakes you up. Sugar lifts your mood. Cream calms the senses. The dessert still does exactly what it was designed to do. It cheers you up. That is why it endures. Not because of myth, but because it works. Food history often becomes romanticized, but the truth is often more interesting. Tiramisu is proof that innovation comes from lived experience. If you appreciate learning how food connects to real life, subscribe and stay with me. There is something poetic about tiramisu's rise. A dessert once whispered about is now proudly displayed across the world. That transformation mirrors changes in society itself. What was once hidden became accepted. What was once practical became celebrated. Tiramisu teaches us that food evolves alongside culture. As Italy modernized, so did its cuisine. Desserts moved from necessity to expression. Yet the best ones never forget their roots. Tiramisu did not become popular because it was flashy. It became popular because it felt good. It offered comfort during times of change. It balanced strength and softness. Even today, when people argue about authenticity, tiramisu remains flexible. There is no single official version, only a shared understanding of what it should feel like. That feeling is comfort with energy, pleasure without heaviness. It is the perfect ending to a meal and sometimes the best beginning. That balance explains why tiramisu continues to inspire chefs and home cooks alike. It is approachable but meaningful, simple but layered. Like many great foods, it mirrors human experience. Layers of bitterness and sweetness, strength and softness, tradition and adaptation. When you eat tiramisu, you are participating in a story that spans decades and cultures. That is the beauty of culinary history. It lives on the plate. If stories like this inspire you, subscribe to Worldwide Delicious, and keep discovering the world through food. Today, tiramisu is everywhere, but its soul remains Italian. Walk into a small cafe in Italy, and you may find a version made by memory, not measurement. A grandmother teaches a grandchild. A baker adjusts by feel. That is how tiramisu stays alive, not frozen in time, but passed forward. Its success also shows how desserts can carry meaning beyond sweetness. Tiramisu represents revival. It was born to restore energy, and it continues to do so emotionally. After a long meal or a long day, it lifts the spirit. That emotional function is why it became iconic. Many desserts taste good. Few make you feel something immediately. Tiramisu does. And that feeling connects people across cultures. Whether served in Italy, New York, Tokyo, or Buenos Aires, it delivers familiarity. It feels like care. That universality explains its global spread. It also explains why its origin story remains compelling. It reminds us that creativity often emerges from necessity. The most beloved dishes are not always invented with fame in mind. They are invented to solve a moment. That moment, when captured correctly, becomes timeless. Tiramisu captured its moment perfectly. If you love learning about food as culture and history, subscribe and continue this journey with me. As we look back, tiramisu stands as a reminder that food history is never boring. It is full of contradictions and surprises. A dessert associated with elegance began as functional fuel. A simple recipe became a cultural icon. That contrast makes tiramisu special. It challenges assumptions about where good food comes from. It teaches us to respect everyday creativity. In the end, tiramisu is not just Italian. It belongs to anyone who has ever needed comfort or energy. Its story reflects human resilience, turning limited ingredients into something joyful. Sharing it, passing it on. Each layer tells part of that story. When you taste tiramisu, you taste adaptation, survival, pleasure. That is why its history matters. It connects food to life. And that connection is what we celebrate here. If you are enjoying this exploration, subscribe to Worldwide Delicious and keep discovering the stories behind the dishes we love. Too close. Remember this. Tiramisu is more than a dessert. It is a reflection of human needs and creativity. Born in unexpected places, refined through tradition, and shared across the world, it proves that great food does not require perfection. It requires understanding. Coffee to wake us. Sugar to lift us. Cream to comfort us. Every element has a purpose. That purpose has not changed. Tiramisu still does what it was designed to do. It cheers us up. It brings people together. It ends meals with warmth. Food history lives in moments like these. Quiet beginnings, loud success, shared joy. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history of tiramisu. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Worldwide Delicious for more food history from around the world. Leave a comment with your favorite dessert and tell me how you like your tiramisu. I will see you in the next video.